Hi, my name is Bruce Hennison. Yes, I am a financial and economic analyst. So, listen, man, let's just talk about Bob today. Let's just do a straightforward, simple one. Let's talk about Bob. Okay, I'll tell you about Bob. Now, his name was Bob Letourneau. He started business in 1919. He actually had startup funds. Now, I have here minus 5,000. He actually was in debt, minus $5,000 in the money of that time. However, he still went ahead, started a business. That was 1919. The Great Depression hits him. That Great Depression, horrible. Okay, stock market losses of about 90% between 1929 and 1932. On top of that, several businesses and banks collapsed, as you would expect. Unemployment hits about over 25% in 1933. It was a level never seen again. And obviously, very sadly enough, the suicide rate increased. From there, Bob survived. He kept going. His company lasted all the way through World War II. One day, I'm going to look at the figures in detail to show you. 6 years and one day of war, estimated total of 70 to 85 million people died in that horrific, horrible conflict. United States, they saw their debt to GDP reach its highest ever level since 1790. 1790 was the year that, well, pretty much after the year of its War of Independence. Then along comes the Great Recession of 2008. The stock market loses about 57% of its value between 2007 and 2009. Unemployment hits about 10% for the 11th highest level since 1948. And then in 2011, Bob's company is sold. Bob had ever since passed on, but the value of Bob's company at the time was now $1.1 billion. And the his growth factor from that startup, and this is a kind of simple calculation, not fully there, okay? But from startup factor of about minus $5,000 that Bob was in debt that he pretty much had to get going with, and a growth factor, his company basically grew by a factor of 220,000. Now, if we look at that from a portfolio performance, the Standard & Poor's 500 index between 1919 and 2011, when Bob's company pretty much existed before it was sold to another company, the Standard & Poor's 500 index grew by about 15,738%. Call it 15,700% if you want to round down. Bob's company, on the other hand, his investment grew by about 22 million percent. Quite really extraordinarily great, and that's typical. The question is and was, what was Bob's secret? Well, his was just part of many I had analyzed over a 20-year period. It started with a core of 11 men who set up 14 companies, and then I went on to look at a further 2,100 companies. And out of that analysis, I derived this thing called the 7 pillars, and I kind of simplified everything down to 7 pillars. And basically, the key thing was the capacity of the leaders, what I basically call their high performance spiritual capacity. That was the key factor. That was number one. And then you combine that with what we pretty much call the 7 pillars management principles. These were principles that they consistently followed when they managed their businesses. You put those two together, the capacity of the person and the 7 key principles that they consistently followed, and those 2 key factors were their firm's most valuable assets in building companies such as this. So like I said, my name Bruce Hennis. I have a lot more to find out more about this. See the links to the books below. Thank you very much. And listen, man, have a really great day and just stay strong in all of this. Take care.